Okay. Well, we're getting started. It is now live here in South Africa. Yes, it is dark outside here. It's evening here in South Africa. But happy, let's see what it says, Youth Day to everyone here in South Africa. And today we're going to be talking about an amazing technology that's making all of us more youthful, which is pretty awesome. So again, for those of you that are joining us right now, and if you have guests that are going to be joining us and they're not on here yet, make sure you check the list. But then also make sure that you actually text the people, say, "Hey, we're getting started, getting going on." If you realize Mena is on, but she's actually in the other room, so I'm going to be actually tag teaming with Brendan today. He's actually going to be actually partnering with us to actually get talk more about this amazing technology. So again, the one thing, if you haven't are familiar with the X39, this product has changed our lives dramatically. The biggest part that when we talk to people about this product is that literally it's distributed on 80 countries around the world, and literally changing lives around the world. For me personally, just to give you my quick testimony, and then I'll kind of hand off to Brendan, because he's got a tag team. He's going to be going over the product information. Then I'm going to kind of go over the business information. But for me personally, I had a car accident back in 2016 that damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. Lily had a bunch of challenges for 6 years. Also injured my knee on 9/11 2021 when we did an exercise for the 20-year anniversary for 9/11. We took on a five-story building, went up and down the building 18 times. I injured my knee really bad, which affected my right hip. So I had 5 areas of pain. And my friend told me about this stem cell activation patch. I didn't know much about it. I heard a little bit about it. He gave me a bunch of information. I haven't checked it. I just tried it. Well, 3 days later, no knee pain, no hip pain, no shoulder pain, no neck pain, no back pain. Of course, what I do, I started researching, looking at this, going, how does this work? How does this, what does this thing do? And Lily looked at all the information that he sent me and was blown away. Today, we've now got business, my wife and I, because of our team, we got business now in 36 countries around the world. It actually set us free financially, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. So if you're interested in an opportunity, you're going to want to stick around for the whole meeting. If you want to find out more about the product, you want to check out the first half. And the person that's actually been going over the product is someone who's one of the best students we have on our team. Brendan Duplessis is actually based here out of South Africa. I got a chance to meet him actually a year and a half ago when I fired my job on January 8th of 2024, and literally extended my stay here in South Africa for a few weeks, visited a bunch of BNIs, and Brendan actually was one of the first people I met, and we've become great friends, great business partners, and he's got business all over the world, and he's very excited about this product. So I'm going to hand it off to him. He's going to go more over the product. Definitely get out a piece of paper and a pen. You're going to want to take some notes, write down some different things about this. We'll be able to answer some questions if you put them in the chat. Ben is going to kind of help out that. I'm going to help out with some of the different questions. But again, I'm going to hand it off to Brendan. And Brendan, the floor is yours. Please tell more people about this amazing product. Awesome, man. Thank you for helping me out today.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Greg. Really appreciate the opportunity. And obviously, everyone getting a chance to hop on. Thank you so much for your time because it's the most precious thing we have. And thanks to X39, it's all about quality time. And that's what we actually want to speak to people about. Because I guess I always like to start off with my story. It's very important. I'm not just some random person here today. I'm actually someone on a mission to help people live better, longer, and healthier because I've seen what this X39 technology has the power to do for people. So, a quick little overview. I'm sure some people have already heard about this, but my mom was diagnosed with COVID when we were all going through that little situation, well, that long situation. And unfortunately, she took a very long time to recover from that. While she was sick with COVID, it was very traumatic in terms of she had no energy. There were times where I'd walked in on her when she was sleeping in the lounge on the couch, and I thought she'd actually passed away. She was lying on the couch, mouth was open, and it's quite something. And that happened more than once. And it doesn't get easier every time you see someone you think they passed away. So, seeing her go through that and then that recovery process in terms of her slowly getting a little bit of energy back where she wasn't just lying on the couch, to her hair falling out, to her nails splitting, to her just not having the energy to actually do anything. She stopped seeing her friends. She stopped living the life that she deserved to live. You never want to see the person you love just stay at home and just struggle. I mean, that's what it was, a constant struggle. And luckily, like Rick said, I'd met him actually last year January, and he stood up and he spoke about this X39 technology. And after he mentioned that he had no more hip pain, no more back pain, no more shoulder pain after just a few days on the X39. Someone who is very interested in not taking drugs, medications, and terrible things that just cause more damage. My ears were very open. And I asked him a little bit about it, and I thought, well, this American man better have something real here. And after you take a look at the information, I was quite shocked. And it was quite amazing. So I made the decision right then and there. Well, I love my mom enough that it's worth the shots. And I decided to purchase a few sleeves just so that my mom could try it out as well as myself. And my mom went from literally every day having no energy, going to work, coming home and sleeping the whole day, to really within the first few days, first few weeks, a complete turnaround. She went from wearing the patch, and her energy levels was the first thing that dramatically improved. She started going out more. She stopped sleeping. That was the best thing. I mean, I know lots of people enjoy having a nap, but when your day consists of working and then you sleep the rest of it away, that's a decrease in quality life. And the long and short of it is that my mom on the patches has had tremendous results. Her hair has started growing back. She started writing books. She's on the journey to actually leave her job and full time, do what she wants to do, that she loves doing. And I mean, it's just crazy that something as simple as the X39 has even done this for someone. And I mean, a little bit about myself. I used to struggle very badly with migraines. My grade 11 year, I actually didn't even write my grade 11 exams. I was really, really down bad with migraines. It used to be so debilitating. I used to actually, I wouldn't say pass out, but it used to have such an impact on me that I would actually collapse. And when it hit me. And that's not something that you wish on anyone. I mean, I've fallen in the shower. I've fallen in the passage where my mom actually came home and I was lying in the passage, so debilitated I couldn't get up. And also insomnia, and at my age, I shouldn't struggle with any of these things. And unfortunately, that was my situation. I didn't write my grade 11 exams due to my health. And ever since I've been on the patch, I haven't actually had one migraine. I now can stay up on purpose and still have a productive day. And my hair is, I guess, just a little bit thick, and also my skin. I mean, at least my collagen is going quite well. So lots of benefits, and we're just here to actually share the good news. As we say, if you hear about something that can help people, if you hear about something that's good, if you go eat food at a restaurant that's good, you go and tell your friends about it, and you don't get paid for it. You just tell them, and then they go eat the food and enjoy it. And here we actually have the opportunity that you can share it and at least pay for your own products, because no one likes a subscription that comes out of your own pockets. But if you can at least share this with enough people, that it's not an expense anymore, it becomes something that can change your life. So let's get straight into it. I just want to take a moment. We're going to share a few slides with you. And obviously, like Greg said, if you have any questions, please put them into the chats. And we're just going to keep it as brief as we can to give you enough information so that you can have an informed decision going forward. Right, because you don't know what you don't know until you know. So let's help you to know tonight. Right, so welcome again. Thank you so much. Today we're going to speak to you about the X39 stem cell activation technology. And the question we love to ask people is, have you been patched yet? If you have not been patched yet, please ask the person that invited you to at least fast track some patches through to you, because once you put this little patch on, you can say I'm wearing my patch, it completely changes your life. And we actually have a model where you wear patches and you put patches on people and you just watch the miracles take place. So the gentleman that is behind this X39 patch, his name is David Schmitz. He's the CEO and inventor of X39. He currently has over 130 patents, which is kind of crazy. I mean, how many of us even have one patent? How many of us know anyone that has even one patent? And this gentleman has 130. I mean, that's quite nice, because definitely being a part of this amazing company, that screams opportunity in every way, shape, and form. To have so many different inventions, technologies that this gentleman is behind. Us being a part of the company, we are the first ones to know about it, first ones to use it, and the first ones to share it. So there's never any competition. Scientist and inventor, right? He specializes in age reversing. Not anti-aging, age reversing. We will actually show you some results on what that actually looks like. And what's very important is in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research. And the patents for the X39 took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to markets. So what's very important is that we said, yeah, the patent for the technology, right, took $4.5 million in 10 years, right? Why did it even take that long? Well, it's because it took a long time to actually develop something that works, and we had to prove that it works. Okay, a patent is a legal binding document. Anything we put in here means that we have proven that it is exactly as it says it is in here. It means it's doing that. Okay, that's what's very important. So just a little excerpt, right? We'll get into this later into the presentation, but all the X39 does when you put it on, it actually uses a mechanism called phototherapy. As this patch is stimulating your body with phototherapy, it actually elevates a very, very important peptide called copper peptide. Okay. Now, copper peptide, once you elevate that in your body, it actually has so many benefits. I mean, people actually inject peptides into their body, right? This is elevating your own production, which is next level. And it's doing that just with your body's heat, right? So, what it does is once you elevate copper peptide, this includes activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. So the long and short of it is, this is a patented technology that says that once you wear the patch, it elevates copper peptide, and it has been proven to do all of those things I just said, right? Not just activate your stem cells, but all of those other benefits like energy, reducing your inflammation, and improvements in pain. You know, how many people are just struggling with pain? You know, wake up with a backache. Oh, you know, I'm just getting older. It's okay. It's not okay, right? Your body is deteriorating, and you know, aging shouldn't be something that you dread. It should actually be something you look forward to. And if you are currently getting older and not enjoying the process, I'm glad you're here tonight. So, why is X39 stem cell activation patch even important? Well, the most important thing is that the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal, right? A very simple example is your hair as thick as what it was when you were 20? Is your grandma's healing ability, her recovery ability, if she had to get a bruise, as good as what it was when she was 20, right? Well, the reason for that is that our stem cells are actually going dormant, right? Not many people even know what stem cells are, but your stem cells are actually the core thing in your body that helps your body repair dying and damaged tissue, right? Your stem cells are what your body uses to repair dying and damaged tissue, right? So the fewer of them that you have, the faster you're going to age. You're going to have more gray hair. Your eyesight's going to deteriorate. The energy is going to go away. The sleep is not as good. You know, your skin is thinner. Your blood doesn't flow as nicely. Your risk of disease goes up, all because your body just can't heal and repair the way it used to. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing these symptoms of aging, right? We call it aging, right? Aging is just a clump of issues, and we just say, oh, it's because I'm getting older. My eyesight is bad and my hair is gray because I'm getting older. It's actually a problem. I'm sure we've all seen someone who's in their 50s and look like they're 83, and the other way around, someone in their 50s and look like they're in their 30s, right? It's because aging affects all of us differently, and you want it to affect you in a good way. So at age 30, you only have half of your stem cells active. At 60, you lose almost all of your stem cell activity. This is exactly why our grannies are struggling more than us at 30, because of the fact that they don't really have this ability to heal anymore. It's basically completely switched off. So how does the X39 work? Very simple. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy, right? We're all actually quite used to what phototherapy is. We just don't understand the name. So if you have ever heard of a red light therapy, blue light therapy, infrared sauna, have you ever stepped out into the sun, right? These are all forms of phototherapy. And what the X39 is actually a patented nanocrystal technology, right? And what it's doing is it's using your own body heat to reflect the light and heat back into the body to stimulate and activate your own production of GHKCU, your copper peptide. So the most important thing here is I still don't even really understand how it even works, but all I know is there's no drugs in it. It's non-invasive, so nothing's going into my body. It's non-transdermal, and there's no chemicals or stimulants, right? This isn't a caffeine patch where you get stimulated and now you go run around. It's not, it's nothing like that. This is completely natural technology that uses your body's heat to stimulate your skin and cause your body to do something it's naturally meant to do, right? It's literally helping your body do what it's meant to do. It's your on switch to get your stem cells working. It's that's all it is. Your on switch is the best power up you can get on the market. So, benefits of X39. Well, we briefly spoke about this already, but I would like to cover it again. If you can see here, I can definitely say all of these things that are on this page right now, I can confidently say that I have experienced it. Increased strength, right? I don't want to flex my muscle right now because I might damage the camera. No, I'm just joking. But reduction in inflammation, definitely. Any issue that you have in your body is a result of inflammation, right? I have no more migraines. Increased stamina, right? I like to run away from Greg just so that I can get his heart rate up and he can, just get that get that heart beating himself. Energy and vitality, definitely. The energy is next level. I mean, sometimes I go to bed 2 a.m. in the morning for crazy reasons, and then I'm still getting up at 4 o'clock, 6 a.m., and I go the whole day. Yes, maybe it's not the most healthy thing, but the fact that I can sustain that and be okay, that's quite crazy. And I never used to be able to do anything like that. I used to have to study for my pilot's exams until 10, 11 p.m. And then I would still get up at 6 a.m., getting at least like 6, 7 hours of sleep and still feel like I'm hungover. And that was just me studying. Now I don't have any of those issues. Mental clarity, right? Solving problems quicker, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improvements in sleep. I have no more insomnia. Improved skin appearance, right? I mean, look at Greg. I mean, damn, for someone that's in their 50s, what an achievement, right? That's amazing. And he didn't even have to do anything. He just had to put on the patch. I mean, come on. Right, so how do you wear it? It's very simple. You wear the patch for 12 hours a day and then you take it off. So I wear my patch from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then you just take it off and then you throw it away. That's how simple it is. You don't have to go run around the block or go do some CrossFit thing and, do all these fancy, funny diets and all of that. Just eat good, drink enough water, and put the patch on. It's the most, you don't, it takes the least amount of time out of your day. It takes longer to brush your teeth than what it does to actually put the patch on. So once you take it off, you just throw it away, and in the new day, you actually wear a new patch. Very simple. In this little package here, we call this thing called a sleeve. In here, you get a 30-day supply. So you can see here it says 30, right? So there you go, 30. So in here is 30 X39 patches. So you wear one new patch a day, you take it off at the end of the day, and you throw it away, and you put a new one on the next day. And just really make sure you drink enough water. So this is a topography map, right? Very important. Like we said to you, that we can't tell you anything that hasn't been proven, right? Because we're not here to lie to you. We're here to share the information that has been proven, right? Because this is something that is helping people, and it's because we have the information to show that it helps. So a topography map basically shows the levels of inflammation in your body. And here you can see we have a 77-year-old lady who placed X39 at the back of her neck. So you can see here in session 1, she did not have X39 in or on her body yet. Lots of inflammation in her brain and a lack of brain coherence. But here you can see by 3 weeks, right? Oh my word, no more inflammation and improved brain coherence. So you can actually read here, it says it can be noted when she came in, her brain was hyperactive. Her brain calmed down dramatically at the second visit. And after wearing the X39 patch for 3 weeks, her brain remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. So you can see it's a complete turnaround after 6 weeks, right? Anyone with brain fog, anyone with ADHD, anyone that can't focus, I mean, you can either take the drugs that are going to help you focus, or you can take something and help your body clear out what's causing you to not focus, right? That's what we all want, right? You want your body to work in a proper manner, to not have these issues affecting your brain. I mean, imagine the brain fog that this poor lady had, and here 6 weeks. People don't understand what mental clarity is until you experience it. All right, so the long-term results on X39. So you can actually go to thisitinfo.com and you can find out more information about all of this. We have so many good videos on there. Doctors, we have testimonials, we have our patents in depth there. David Schmitz is even on there. Anything you need, if you want more information, you can go to thisitinfo.com. But just to give you a better idea of what happens when you start wearing the patch, right? This is the expectation you can have when you wear it, because this is what has been proven. The first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. You just saw that. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. And within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. So this, again, is not anti-aging. This is age-reversing technology, right? So let's just show you. Let's get into the pictures, right? Because that's what's actually important. Don't believe anything I say. You can just take a look at what the results are for other people. You can see with X39, this is a live blood analysis. This is where they actually poke your finger. They take your blood, they put it on a little microscopic sheet thing, and they put it under microscope and they go take a look at what your blood looks like. Here you can see this blood is signs of clotting, heart attack, stroke, very unhealthy blood. Here, just 24 hours later, right, and you only wear the X39 for 12 hours. Signs of oxygenated, free-flowing, healthy blood. I mean, that is really amazing. Here you can see skin conditions improving in just 24 hours. 24 hours here. I mean, day one, this is actually a diabetes case. They actually told this gentleman they were going to have to amputate his leg if nothing improved. And luckily, he had a friend that called him and told him about the X39. And by day 5, dramatic improvements. This is the power of giving your body back its ability to heal and flush out the damage. Here you can actually see improvements in bruising, right? I'm not sure if someone else can explain to me why there's circles there. Maybe it's because she was wearing the patch, right? That's why the patch is causing that, right? The patch is literally helping the body heal, and you can see a direct impact on where the patch is worn. Here you can see inflammation reducing in 22 days. Here you can see accidents improvements after 5 days, mobility improvements. I mean, the quality of life is what we're after. Imagine recovering faster after bumping your leg. Imagine wearing your sandals comfortably because you have no more inflammation. Imagine not looking like this, like you just got into a bar fight in just 5 days, right? And I mean, come on. How many of us have an older person in our life that we just wish could move around more because they could, right? And that's 3 days later. It's kind of crazy if we don't share it. Here you can see 1 month on X39. So within 1 to 3 months, physical changes start occurring. Here you can even see with the collagen increase. The most important thing I have to mention to people is the patch is not going to do something to you that you're going to feel, right? Do you feel your hair grow? Do you feel your eyes deteriorate as you get older? Do you even feel your body digest its food? These are natural processes that the body takes care of that luckily we don't feel, because I think we'd all be overstimulated if we felt every hair grow out of our scalp. Right? I think it would be too much. So the patch is going to just help the body do what it's meant to do. And luckily we don't feel it. So don't expect to feel something, just expect to see the results if you give it enough time. So you can see what 3 months on the X39 can do. Here's some more improvements. After an accident, 2 months on the X39. This is actually a picture of a little girl whose fingertip actually got popped off in a door. And the doctors didn't want to reattach it. They said it's pointless. Her finger won't recover if we attach it. And look at this. Because the dad knew about the X39, boom, 2 months later, it's like it didn't even happen. Right? Luckily, that surgeon actually did a good job of reattaching it, so he doesn't have a screw finger. But at least it worked. Here you can see hair growth. Right? Oh my days. How many men? I mean, I have so many friends that are actually a little bit, they are so self-conscious about having a bald spot, right? Because I don't know what it is. I guess it makes them feel less manly to have less hair for some reason, right? 2 months on X39. Look at that. I mean, thicker hair. I mean, I guess it makes you also look younger, right? You can see 3 months. I mean, that is so awesome. 3 months on X39, and this guy's bald patch is completely gone. 3 months also with the collagen, and even the eyes. I mean, you can see it in the eyes of people. This is actually a friend of Mena's. She had a condition called alopecia, where her hair was falling out. And I mean, she was wearing wigs. She stopped seeing her friends. She wasn't living the life that she wanted to because she didn't look the way she wanted. Her body was letting her down, and she couldn't find a way to solve that until Mena told her about the X39. And look at that, 3 months on X39, the difference. Vertigo, right? These are skin conditions that typically have very aggressive treatments. I actually spoke to a lady recently who has vertigo, and she goes for light therapy treatment. She goes to a sauna where they have a red light therapy bed that she gets into, and she said she hasn't really seen improvement. She's been doing that for 3 months. He's currently researching the X39. And I mean, that's what we encourage everyone to do, right? Go and do your research. Don't believe me. Go and do your research, because if you don't believe it, there's no point in wearing it. Here you can see day 1, right? Day 30, 5 months. You know what condition this is called? Unhappiness, right? Look what happens after 5 months, right? She's very happy because she's looking much better. Bell's palsy. I mean, this is a neurological condition, right? A disconnect that causes the body to do that. And it's like it didn't even happen. 3 months. How many people have you heard just in the past 2 weeks? Oh, I have this autoimmune condition. Oh, I have this other condition. How many men do you come across that have a bald spot? Right? And how many people do you come across that are unhappy? Right? Let's give them a solution to be happy again. Within 6 months, I want to just bring your attention quickly to here where it says reverse aging. This is something that we say to you. It's not anti-aging technology. This is reverse aging technology. So if you read here, it says in a recent study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after just 6 months of using X39. That's why it's not anti-age, it's age reversing. So you wear the X39 for 6 months and you get back 8 years of heart health. Anyone on high blood pressure medication or anyone worried about their heart health, right? The thing that keeps you alive. I think all of us should be worried about that. You wear this X39 for 6 months and you get back 8 years. I don't know. I don't know how it works. All I know is that it works. And look at this. You can see in her eyes it's working. Anyone struggling with menopause issues, right? That's one of the biggest things. Within the first few days, many people with menopause start experiencing the hot flashes going away. And you can see once your hormones start regulating, it's really, really awesome what happens. 1 year on X39. This is actually one of my very, very good friends, Yolandi. Oh my word, I love Yolandi so much. She's just such an awesome woman. And you can see 1 year on the X39. She started the X39 after she went through a very, very bad patch. And she's just doing so awesome now. I mean, it's literally changed her life. She's gone from taking medications every day, being on morphine almost every single day, to now she's living her life up with almost no more medications, right? She's almost going to be there where there's nothing. And I mean, what a far way to come just because of X39. And here you can see Ken, right? He also looks good. There's Greg and Mena, Steve and Gina. You can see they're looking really awesome. We even have doctors, right, on X39. That's very important. You know, if you want to ask your doctor about it, please do. But rather also do some research with doctors that actually don't want to prescribe you drugs, right? Because that's also important, right? Lots of these doctors are stuck on their recurring revenue coming from your chronic medication, right? So let's get you off of the drugs first, and then you can ask your doctor, how are you doing? Right, so you can see many, many doctors you can research here. Athletes on patches. So here you can actually see the different patches on athletes, energy, and even here. Lorenzo Savadori, Superbike champion, right? Mental clarity, that's what it's doing for him. Even animals on X39. Any of you with a puppy that has a bit of an eye issue, any health conditions, I mean, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. I mean, even one more extra year of quality life with your dog, how important is that? How many more memories can you make? 3 months with the horse. So again, the X39 is very sophisticated, right? I still don't even understand how it works. All I know is that it does. Very simple to explain. You put it on, you wait for 12 hours and you take it off. You don't even need to be smart to do it. You just need to remember to do it. And that's why you have your phone that sets alarms for you and you can just remember to take it off. And you can see the testimonials are out of this world, right? It's life-changing and emotional. And the best thing about it is it absolutely works. So like we said, please go do your research at thisisatinfo.com. And I would love to actually take this opportunity now to hand it over to Greg. And just to let everyone know, I've had the privilege of working with Greg now for over a year. And I must say, I have never come across such an awesome person in my entire life. His willingness to want to invest in anyone he's working with, in anyone that he partners with, is just next level, right? And entrepreneurship is meant to be a team sport. You're not meant to play solo in this game of entrepreneurship. And I have the privilege of being on this winning team, of sharing the patches with people to help them improve their life. And it doesn't even feel like a job. That's the best thing about it, is that you can share the patches with people, help them see improvements. And that is just such a blessing that you can give people. And with Greg on our side, him leading us in a very positive way and in the right way, right? We don't always want to follow the people that are making it happen, as you want to say. But Greg is such a great leader to follow. He makes it so much easier to just basically help people. And that's all we want to do. So I would like to hand it over to Greg. Thank you so much for everyone for taking your time to watch me do that. So anyway, Greg, please do take over and yes, take it away. Thanks so much, Greg.
Awesome, Brendan. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I love hearing your presentation because again, the pictures are worth a thousand words, right? I mean, you take a look at all the different illustrations, but just your passion, your caring about people. The one thing I love about Brendan, he's got a global team, growing like crazy, actually hitting higher ranks in the business. But more importantly, he just cares about people. When we first met, it was just he kind of had doubted. He said, "Let me take a look at this, take a look at that." And that's like maybe you. You might be saying, "Hey, I need to take a look at this information." So, like what Brendan just shared, our goal is to give you the information and then share more about what we're doing. So we did recommend going to thisisit.info.com. This is a great website that was put together by our team specifically to go over the X39, talk more about it. It's got the patents on there, like Brendan mentioned, it's got all the information on there. But the most important part is, once again, you find out more about a technology that's changing lives. And I would say at the very top, it says testimonials. Click on the testimonials. You'll be able to see all these videos of people actually and the differences made in their lives, including ours, which has been pretty amazing. So one thing that we want to share, obviously, a little bit more, obviously, about the opportunity itself. The company itself has been around for over 20 years now. They're in their 21st year, and the interesting part about that is that they're now open in over 75 countries around the world. And the part that we liked about it, it's not a Me Too product. I mean, we've been approached by a lot of businesses. You may have been the same way. A lot of different supplements and travel companies and weight loss and skincare and supplements and all these different things. And there's so much competition with all these different companies. Yet when we talk to people about a stem cell activation patch, people lean forward and go, "What is this and how does it work?" I mean, it was amazing. We were actually over in Kruger National Park and got a chance to meet a bunch of people and talk with a bunch of people. Every single person we talked to knew nothing about the patch. Every single person we talked to, all of them were interested in getting information and wanting more details. And certain people we're going to be talking to this week and probably getting them registered. And we'll talk more about that because the company itself, basically, when they launched this product in 2019, 2020, it was patented. So from 2020, it consistently became a $20 million company, very consistent, which is a great size company, but they grew from 20 million to 600 million over the past 4 years. Projections are right now they're expecting to be over $1 billion this year, potentially next year, but we're thinking even this year alone because of the way it's growing. So we've actually won all kinds of awards. We're the #1 momentum ranked company in the world as far as a network like this, which is absolutely amazing. So when you understand the people that are behind this, David Schmidt, obviously being the founder, Meredith Burkich actually just was brought into the company a couple of years ago because she's helped companies go to $1 billion. And at that time, they're like a $200 million company when they brought her on. Steve and Gina Merritt had been in this industry for decades. And so we heard about this company, we heard about David, heard about this, and then when I heard about Steve and Gina, we didn't know who they were. Once we got to know them, we're like, oh my goodness, they've had tremendous amount of success. So they put together their very first basically brand partner convention here with basically for This Is It team, actually what they called This Is It convention. And it was done at our church in Tampa. And so when they shared about this opportunity, had doctors panels talk about this, everything else, we're blown away. We're actually somewhere in the audience way over here. So anyway, but it was amazing. We had people tied in online, we had people tied in person, and our business exploded from there because people just understood the technology worked. Well, the company itself has also won the Bravo Growth Award for 2 years in a row now. Fastest growing network in the entire world. They take a look at companies, the past 4 years, whose company's growing the fastest in the past 4 years. They said for a 20-year-old company to win this award is unheard of. They said normally they're startups because you start at zero, right? And they basically grow very fast. So what happens for a company like this going from 20 million to 600 million. Yeah, expect us to win again this next year, again when we hit a billion. So what we want to talk more about specifically is really the team, the system, and then really the business. But the really thing I want you to really more think about than anything else is really what's most important in your life. For me, literally, I was at a point where I was working a job. I've always been an entrepreneur. So we had other side hustles, so to say, we had other businesses we had, but none of them were able to replace my full-time income. And I got frustrated. So the number one word for me a couple of years ago was freedom. That was the number one for me. My number one word for her is always this family. I just got the phone with my daughter, my wife, and obviously her family in South Africa. We're spending a lot of time here in South Africa because family is very important to us. But a little over 2 years ago, literally freedom meant something big to me because the company I worked for was really becoming more of a tormentors than mentors. The only word I can use is they basically became just, if you ever had a job and then it basically becomes like a grind and not a good kind of grind. That's the one thing that we try to share with people is make sure that people understand that this is really an opportunity for anybody who really wants to become free. And within 14 months, I was able to replace my six-figure income with the help of my wife and my whole team, literally within 14 months. A couple months later, fired my job, like I mentioned, back on January 8th of 2024, and literally walked in the land of living, basically a total freedom. So we've been financially independent for basically, a year and a half now. Well, in that year and a half, we've quadrupled our income. We're about to quintuple it, if that's a word. I don't know what to call it. But imagine doubling, tripling, quadrupling your income that you're making right now and not having to go to work every day. So we worked real hard today. I've been working for the past 35 minutes. Now, Lily, that's really what it's been like. I mean, for us today, for the past 5 days, we're actually in Kruger National Park, and we went up traveling and all this kind of stuff because we could. Now, again, if you had the day off today, imagine have the day off like that for 365 days. Right? So one thing that you want to think about, what is freedom like? But the other thing is some people like the idea of security. Right now, people need extra money. People need to have a backup plan. People need to have an emergency fund. And I'm not talking about, security on the windows and bars and barbed wire. I'm talking about, once again, financial security. What about travel? How would you like to be able to travel whenever you want to? Last year, we spent 4 months traveling. Now, a lot of it was free trips the company offers. We won 5 free incentive trips. Now we won 6 free incentive trips. So it's pretty amazing, actually 7 altogether with the team. So it's pretty amazing in the past 14, 16 months how our life has completely changed. So one thing that other people are looking for today is better health. Imagine having better health and better wealth. So a lot of people like the idea of less debt. How about zero debt? How about being totally debt free? That's what we're helping people do. So I know Brendan was able to just become debt free. So you think about the ideas of what you can do when you have a lot more money coming in. So really, you want to talk to the person who invited you on this and tell them what's important in your life, because whatever you want to accomplish, we can help you accomplish it. So I'm going to go through some different examples pretty quickly, just kind of explain a couple things. But really, there's 4 ways that we make money in this opportunity, and this is just one of them. This is something we call basically building a network. Now, if you like the idea of a network, well, you'll love the idea about this, because once again, we build 2 teams, which is basically a right team and a left team. So what happens, we get started as what's called brand partners. What happens is that I tell people, would you rather pay retail or would you rather get it wholesale? I still have never had anybody say I want to pay retail. Everybody wants to get wholesale. That was me too. I said, I want to get wholesale. Well, what happens is that as you get a wholesale, you become a brand partner. Now you get the wholesale price. Now you also have the option, if you want to, get your product for free by actually referring other people. But if you say, I want to build a business, you can build a big business. And so what happens is that it's as simple as bringing in 2 people on the right and 2 people on the left. We recommend bringing in a lot more. There's no limit to this. But once you do that, but 2 people on the right could be a brother, could be a sister, could be a neighbor, and could be a coworker. Now you get 4 people on your team, and you're known as a manager. Now, it's not to manage people. It's just a title they have to basically show that you can actually open the door to making more money. Well, at this level here, you can make up to $1,500 per week. Now think about that for a second. It's over $6,000 a month if you put the numbers together, right? Imagine doing that. Now again, it's not going to happen just by putting 4 people in. They put people in, and those people put people in, those people put people in, and that's when you start making. So you start making 100 and 200 and 300, 400 a week, 500 a week. Imagine making $500 a week. Imagine making $1,000 a week, and then it just grows. Now what happens? You find someone like Brendan over here says, I want to become a manager, and you find someone like Yolandi over here says, I want to become a manager. Now all of a sudden, what happens is their business starts duplicating, starts growing to the point where you become a director. You can make up to $2,500 a week. Well, just with this one way, you can make up to $25,000 a week. I lost some of you there, I guarantee, because some of you are like going, That's a lot of money. Yeah, that's $1.3 million a year. It's capped there, not a bad cap, 1.3 million. But again, the part that the progress goes on, that you basically start as a brand partner, then you become a manager, make it up to 1,500. Once you have two managers on your team, you become a director. Once you have two directors on your team, you become a senior director. Well, this is a significant point because once we hit this, we start making over $1,000 a week. For those of you in South Africa, that's over 20, well, figure 18 to $20,000 or 18, 20,000 Rand per week. How would your life change if you had an extra 20,000 Rand coming in on a weekly basis? It just keeps on growing and growing. Once we hit executive, then with that, basically that was a six-figure income. That was called freedom. Basically replacing making over $8,000 to $10,000 a week. I was like, that created freedom for me. So what was great about that is that 6 weeks later, think about it, 6 weeks later, we doubled our business. We went from over 50,000 to over 100,000 points. That's called momentum. And we're still in hyper momentum. We have the highest rank of the company, and our business continues to grow every single day. We have people added to our team every single day, to the point now we got business in 36 countries around the world. And we're nobody special. The thing I love is that if we can do this, you can do this. But the part that really got us excited was the second way, the second big way, and it's really the biggest way. It's unlimited income through what's called a matching bonus. The matching bonus is really like a mentorship bonus. So when you help other people become successful, you become successful. So in this case, I'll use Brendan. We personally registered Brendan as a brand partner. So my goal for Brendan is to do what? I want to help him make $25,000 a week. Why do I want to help make $25,000 a week? Because we get now 25% of his bonus. So it doesn't come out of his money. The company matches his bonus because it's 25% of it. So when he makes $100 a week, we make 25. When he makes 1,000, we make 250. When he makes 10,000, we make 2,500. You understand? We want him to make as much money as possible. So what happens is Brendan brings in somebody like Gary, and Gary says, you know what? This is fantastic. I got big dreams. I got big goals. So what do we want to help Gary do? We want to help Gary make 25,000, but as he starts growing, as he starts doing that, as he starts growing along here, now what happens is Brendan gets 25% because he's personally sponsored. We get 20%. Now what happens here is that Gary now basically says, I got AJ, I got Austin, I got other people. So what happens with Austin gets started, now what happens is that actually Austin, we want to help him do what? Kind of repetitive, right? Max out the compensation plan, make as much as possible. But when he makes 1,000, Gary gets 25% of that. When Brendan gets 20%, we get 20% of that. So the part that's crazy about this is, I want you to think about this. This is unlimited. People like our friend Stephen G. Demerit have actually make over $100,000 a week. Now we can't guarantee anything. We can't guarantee. I don't know your ambition level. I don't know what you're willing to do. But if you're willing to be mentored and be willing to coach, we can help you make whatever money you want to make. I just use the example. Imagine making an extra $1,000 a month. Would that help you at this point to make an extra $1,000? Now remember what we're doing here. We're helping people. We've personally been able to help people with things like Parkinson's, MS, Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, believe it or not, reversing every kind of ailment. Like you think about every kind of itis, imagine people that have, all kind of chronic issues actually reverse. But we've also helped people getting out of debt. We're helping people basically paying off debt. We're helping people, have now a financial stability so they don't have to worry about having more month than money. So when you understand the idea of having physical, mental, financial success in all these different areas, I'm 54 now, and I feel like I'm in my 30s going into my 20s. I mean, we did a bunch of hiking and other things we do. There's people going up and down these stairs in the areas we're at because it was very hilly, and people are huffing and puffing, and they're young people huffing and puffing. This young gal basically says, she goes, I'm exhausted. I'm like, we just got started. We just walked up about 30 stairs. I was just like, it's amazing. So when you understand your health and quality of life, it's pretty amazing. So again, how we get started, very, very simple. You actually start with an order form. So the order form actually, I think I've got one on me. The order form is very, very simple. So we tell people basically, get a form, get it filled out, fill out the form, tell the person who invited you, say, I'd like to get started. And we're going to tell you basically the best way to get started. There's really 3 wholesale packs. So this one package of 30 patches is $150 is basically the retail price. We get it at the wholesale price, so we can get it basically around $100 per sleeve. So it's $295 when you get 3. That's how you get it wholesale. But people that want to build a business, we recommend starting on the advance or the premium pack. The reason why, here you get 6 sleeves, so it's less than $100. It's basically about $89 a sleeve. The best price actually is here when you get 20 sleeves, We did this. It wasn't so we could sell them, but Steve and Gina said, what we want you to do, Greg and Menna, we want you to actually just lend this to somebody when someone registers. So when someone fills out this form, I got my neighbor who's on here right across the street here in Nash. We basically got him registered, and I walked across the street. We lent him one of our sleeves. Now he's basically got his package in just last week, so now he's going to give us one back. It's called Place and Replace. That's all we did over and over and over and over and over. And basically, we started with this. And some people look at that and go, that seems like a lot of money. Compared to a traditional business, this is nothing. I mean, like nothing. This is like one day's expense, probably a couple hours worth of expense for a traditional business, seriously. So if you understand this business, we made this money back within 2.5 weeks. That's the third way we made money. Third way we made money is basically what they call a product introductory bonus. The product introductory bonus, basically with a premium pack, when you register my premium, you get $405. When you get the advance, it's $75. The core, it's $35. So we signed up several premiums, signed up several advanced, several core. We made our money back in 2.5 weeks. Our first month, we made almost $3,000. I'm like, this is working. Then the residual income starts coming in. Why was that? Because people buy the package, but then you get set up on auto ship. So once again, if you get the core or the advanced pack, then you get set up on 1 sleeve auto ship or 2 sleeve auto ship. In order to maximize the income from this, you literally just need to be on 2 sleeve auto ship and on the advanced pack and above. If you're on the premium pack, you have enough points that actually covers you for 90 days. So if for people who start today, they're covered for June, July, August. They don't have to buy anything until September. So that's what we did. We said we bought this package and we started making money right away. We became in the black the very first month. Most businesses take 2 to 5 years to get basically back to broke, so to say, back to zero. So we talk to people all the time about this opportunity. You can make money right away. Now, again, we can't make any promise for you, but we do guarantee people that if you follow the system, if you follow the pattern that we use, you'll become successful. So the pattern is basically the This Is It team system. So if you go to This Is It info is for the information on this amazing technology. The This Is It team system is a system that teaches you how to become successful. Utilize this, and we have coaches and mentors. So if you're a person working with Brendan, you're going to work with him. You can also get a chance to work with us. If you work with Gary, you work with Brendan and us and Gary. It's like all these teams, we all work together. They say the team is, together everybody achieves more, right? That's what we do. So the whole key to this is, once again, tying into different Zooms that are available, but really tying people into these Zooms. So even tonight in the United States, there's one at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. This couple has never been in this industry that's explained this. He actually comes from the automotive industry. His wife actually worked basically as a nonprofit, basically doing stuff with ministry work. They took a look at this business and they started sharing it with everybody they possibly could and became financially independent. They started making over $10,000 a month within 90 days. Now think about that for a second. That's once again, they've never done anything like this. If you've never done anything like this, you can have the same kind of results or greater if you want to. So one thing we always recommend is, again, taking a look at the different meetings that are going on. There's one that's out of the Great Britain, another one that's out of Australia. Wednesday's another one that's here. You can tie into on the United States based at 8 o'clock. Friday's another one at 12 p.m. that literally you can tie in at 6 p.m. in South Africa. Like this one here that's actually, I think it's the Great Britain one is basically 8 o'clock, which is 9 o'clock their time, but you can even tie into one that's in South Africa at noon again, basically here, basically for Sydney, for Australia. We're doing that meeting actually next Wednesday. We're doing that meeting for them for Australia. But then they have team teaching every Saturday, which is amazing. So the last part to this is really, there's a whole system behind this, and there's a conference coming up they do once a year. I tell people, if you're in South Africa or Europe and you can't make it to the United States, this is in Orlando, Florida, August 8th, 9th, and 10th. But it's literally basically one function per year. It's a 3-day function where you learn from the top people in the next level team of what to do, how to do it, how to become successful. We went to our very first meeting. We're frustrated because we're running with the business, but we're getting some success. But I really wanted to be free. My goal was by July 4th. Well, this function was in August and I wasn't free yet. Well, by November, I had replaced my income because of what we learned at this convention. By January, I'd fired my job. So again, I tell people, whatever you want to do, I'd recommend being a part of this. Get back together with the person who talked to you about this, because they want to share this with you. Because once again, if you're serious about your dreams and you got on this because you said, I think I like this technology, I want to learn more about it. There's really 3 types of responses to this. Number 3 is someone who says, I'm interested in maybe finding out more. We're going to get you more information. A number 2 is someone who basically says, hey, I'd like to get some information, but can I get this product also at the wholesale price? We'll get it to the wholesale price. And a number 1 is, I want to get started. And we basically call a 3-2-1 launch. So the ones, we're going to help you get launched. Number two, if you say, hey, I know some people that we refer to, we'll talk to those people. And then a three, we'll get you more information and follow up with you professionally, because we just want to make sure you give them more information. So really, more than anything else, there is hope for your future. We tell people we're hope dealers, not dope dealers. So get started today. Ask the person, can I fill out my form? Can I get the information? You're gonna fill out the form and basically do that, or they'll just basically take your information and get you signed online, and you'll be part of the business, and you'll start having your business grow from there. It's very, very exciting. So again, I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to. And I know I talk very fast, but I'm just trying to share with you an opportunity that's changed our lives. It's going to change your lives. If you said, I've always wanted to become financially independent, I'm telling you, this is it. This is a challenge for every single person out there. I'm going to ask you to do your research. Research it, look at this, and be careful where you do your research. Get the information from where we point it to you. But most importantly, more than anything else, get back together with the person and set up a time. And again, we'd love to talk with you. The people who invite you would love to talk with you, get you more information. But get started. Try the product. It's got a 30-day money-back guarantee. I say the best way to do your research is put a patch on the back of your neck, 12 hours a day, and so then you get 30 days to do all your research. Within 30 days, you'll be blown away how it's not only impacts your life, but all the information you find out. So again, I appreciate your time today. Thank you, Brendan, for tag teaming with me today. We actually have a next level meeting. We're starting in like 9 minutes that we're gonna be doing for the team that really wants to get to the next level. They wanna grow. If the person shared that information with you, feel free to jump on that meeting as well. We really want you to, obviously know that this business is running. It's growing like crazy. So Brendan, I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to wrap up with. Otherwise, I'll just close out this meeting, but I appreciate you sharing today. So thank you again, Brendan. You're awesome. Next week, same time, same channel, we'll be basically sharing those people, get people on, also get them connected with us so that we can actually work together with you. So if you need information, I know there's a bunch of messages that have been sent out. I think my wife has been responding, hopefully, to all these messages. She's been helping out. And again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for thank you for sharing, Brendan, today with me, tag teaming, and we'll be back here next week with more information, but more importantly, with all the different things that are going on in life. If there's a lot of things that are uncertain out there, but the one thing we know for certain is this is it. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night. We'll talk.